After finding the abandoned child in the cold, dirty streets of hell, Lute took it upon herself to relocate her leader so that they could decide what to do with it. Had it been a demon, Lute wouldn't have given the child a second glance. However, being that she had identified the child as one of her own, she had made it her mission to take it back up to heaven with her crew and find its mother. Thankfully, the baby was silent for now, smiling happily at Lute. Her fellow exorcists asked her why she was holding a baby. In response, she scowled. "I am your lieutenant. What I do on this mission is none of your damn business. Return to your posts." The exorcists quickly saluted and went back to what they were doing before. They knew better than to anger the lieutenant. Still, they couldn't help wondering where Lute had gotten that baby and what she was going to do with it. Lute sighed in relief. Now that she was alone with the baby, she didn't need to have her guard up anymore. Finally, I thought they'd never leave. Don't they know better than to just stare at someone holding a baby? Though, I guess the sight of their lieutenant holding a baby in their arms does seem a bit strange. The baby cooed in response, smiling up at its new mother. Lute tried her best to ignore it. In her position, she couldn't afford to get attached to a child. She was a lieutenant, after all, not a mother. Where the fuck is Adam? Lute groaned impatiently, wishing the exorcist leader would show up soon and save her from this kid. She was afraid she might actually start to care about the baby if Adam didn't show up soon. The baby's eyes widened in surprise at hearing her curse. Then it clapped its hands joyfully. Lute, realizing her mistake, tried to correct herself to avoid teaching the little one some very bad language. No, bad. I mean, I didn't say the bad word. I meant, where is my amazing, handsome leader, Adam? Lute tried to explain herself to the baby, but it didn't seem to know the difference between bad things and good things yet. It was too young to know these things. Instead, the baby continued to smile at Lute innocently. What did I think was going to happen? I can't explain anything to you. You're a baby, for Christ's sake. Look, just don't repeat anything I say, okay? Just then, Adam appeared. He had been off killing more demons and sinners than he was supposed to. He always looked forward to the exterminations, and he killed off far more than his fair share every time. He heard Lute talking to someone, and he called out to her. "Hey, Danger Tits, who you talking to? And what's that you got there?" Adam's eyes widened in surprise as he realized she was holding a baby in her arms. Lute became flustered and responded awkwardly. "It's a baby, sir." She felt embarrassed. She wasn't sure how to explain things to her leader. Still, she knew he would have questions that needed answering. Adam approached the baby with curiosity. "I can see that. Where the fuck did you find this thing anyway?" "Language, sir." Lute panicked upon hearing her leader saying curse words in front of the child, and she didn't appreciate him calling the child it rather than them. It was a baby, not an object. You can't just curse in front of them. Okay. Well, what are you planning to do with it? Can't you just, I don't know, drop it off somewhere? No, they're one of our own. We can't turn a blind eye to a soul in need. Lute wrapped her arms protectively around the child. She could not believe how insensitive Adam was being. This child was an angel who belonged back up in heaven. She couldn't just leave them here. Calm down, Tits. Jeez. You're acting like you're its mother or something. Wait, are you? Adam questioned, narrowing his eyes at his lieutenant suspiciously. He hadn't seen Lute with any guys lately, but that baby didn't come from nothing. It had to come from somewhere, or someone. Of course not, sir. I found this child in a dirty basket on the streets of hell. It's safe to say they're far from their home. Lute became even more flustered at the mere idea of her being the child's mother. She had barely held them for very long, yet she was already beginning to feel fond of them. She did her best to regain her composure, hoping her leader hadn't noticed. Lucky bitch. Guess that means they get to go back up to heaven with us. Do you think Sarah will allow this? Adam wondered if the kid would even be allowed back into heaven. Given the circumstances of the baby being found in hell, The chances of finding their parents were slim. The seraphims were very strict when it came to dealing with hell, and even babies were no exception. She must allow this. There is no reason why she shouldn't. This baby is heaven-born. They are of holy roots. Surely she will not hold anything against this child. Lute hoped in her heart that the baby would be allowed back into heaven with the rest of them. Hell was no place for an angel, and she worried for the child's future. Calm down, Lute. I don't usually see you so worked up over something like this. Damn thing must really be affecting you. Lute hesitated at his words. She had never heard him sound so calm, yet concerned before. She didn't want to worry him, so she pretended like it didn't matter to her what would happen to the child. I just want to be sure we are carrying out our duties, sir. Legally, we cannot just leave the child here to die. They need to come to heaven with us, whether we want them to or not. Yeah, you got a fair point. Taking your job seriously as usual, I see. Still, what are we going to do with this thing once we get back up there? Lute was silent for a moment, pondering the situation. She hadn't thought too far into this yet. She had no idea if the child would even be allowed past the entrance gates, but she was more worried about what Sarah would say. As a matter of fact, she was a lot more worried about this kid than she would like to admit. Well, I suppose it's only fair that we alert Sarah of the situation immediately. She will know what to do with the baby. Well, hopefully she can do something about it. Maybe she could take the damn thing away from us, if we're lucky. Right, sir. Her words, in reply, left a sour taste in her mouth that she didn't like. She wanted to agree with her leader, but she was concerned about the kid. She just wanted to make sure that they were taken to a safe place as soon as possible. Speaking of which, she hoped to get away from hell as soon as possible. She was uneasy. She didn't want to stay on hell's grounds any longer than she had to. I believe we're finished here. Should we be off now, sir? Yeah, I guess so. The extermination's over, bitches. You can go home now. As always, I'll lead the way. Oh, and try not to drop the baby on your way back, Lute. Adam's response was nonchalant, uncaring. But he had more important things to worry about than a baby. Besides, Sarah would get everything sorted out, and then it wouldn't be his problem anymore. As they all headed back up to heaven, Lute cradled the baby carefully in her arms. She hoped that Sarah would allow her to keep the baby, or, at the very least, give it a good home. Whatever happened, she just wanted the baby to be safe. Don't worry, little one, Lute whispered softly. I'll take care of you.